Hi, my name is Jeremy Overturf,
Hi, I'm Stephanie Overturf.
and we're here to talk to you about running a business in a tough economy. But before we do that, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can continue to push out more great content for you guys. But for now, let's get started. So, Stephanie, what do we know about starting a business in a tough economy?
Well, for one thing, we started one in a tough economy. Our main business we started in 2008 during the recession, which I'm sure most of you remember, when housing and things were down, building was down, and people were getting laid off. That's when we decided to start our own business. So maybe we were crazy, I don't know, but
But I think we learned a lot in the meantime or during that time from starting, because we learned now that we're going through another rough time in 2020, which probably all of you guys that are watching are. By learning some of the fundamentals, you can run lean and mean and stay alive, just keep your business alive, and hopefully prosper during these times. So we're going to share with you our top 3 tips for running a business in a rough economy. Maybe not starting one, we'll maybe do that in a future video, but for now let's talk about how you can run one that you already have in a tough economy. So the first one I wrote down of my top 3 are get the basics right. So what do you think about that, Stephanie? Do you remember, like we tell our guys all the time right now, we don't have a lot of jobs to go to, but the ones that we have, let's make sure we do an awesome job. I mean, we're always trying to blow people away with our service, but especially now, since you don't have a lot to do, let's make sure what we do is done really well.
yeah, because definitely right now people have time. They're sitting at home, they have time to price shop or do more research than just taking a referral that they got from somebody. They might do a little more research. So you definitely need to make sure you're blowing them away, giving that top quality service. And then, like you said too, just kind of making sure that they maximize the jobs that they have. Like maybe they're going on just a small job to start with. Let's make sure we're offering additional services and really taking care of that client to the best possible way we can.
Right. So let's get the fundamentals right. There's 12 of us full time that work in our company. So let's sharpen our skills. Let's make sure we get everything right. So when we do get busy again, we're still running like a fine-tuned machine and maybe even more efficient. We've really even done some things to make our processes more efficient, get everybody better.
Yeah, I was just going to say, maybe you can talk about that too, is like some of the things I've noticed you're doing with the team right now with the techs is honing their skills. So maybe it's a good time to do some training.
Might as well. Yeah, let's get really good at what we do. So just a little bit more background about us, why you should listen to us. We started with nothing. We have a carpet cleaning, oriental rug cleaning. We clean tile, grout, all kinds of floors and fabrics. But we do so in high-end homes. We have a kind of niche market. We started with zero. We started out of the trunk of our car, basically cleaning houses, cleaning toilets is what I usually say. So, and then now we're a $1 million company. Like I said, there's 12 of us full time. We're working together, and we've got a happy, successful team, and we just want to share some of that, what we've been able to do with you guys.
Yeah, it can definitely be done. I mean, I was just thinking about this yesterday. I was actually on unemployment when we started our business.
Yeah. That kind of motivated us to start our business because we weren't able to find jobs in 2008. We were both unemployed and couldn't find anything, so we said, let's start our own thing. What do we got to lose? We won't be subject to the whims of getting laid off like a lot of you guys are right now. I said, I don't want to go through that again. Let's do our own thing. And that's what we did. Yeah. And just persistence is the big thing, is one of the big takeaways, but we're not going to get into all that right now. Right now, we're going to talk about those 3 things. So the first one is get the basics right, get the fundamentals. The second one, as much as we both hate to do it, is you got to cut some cost. You can't spend what you spent when times are fat. You can't, the first day when Stephanie brought home the groceries, I said, the crab legs and the filet mignon are out right now.
But they were on sale.
So it's ground beef and chicken time. So even though we have some money in the bank, we're going to have to, we don't know how long this is going to last, so we need to stretch it. So yeah, we don't want to get into like a poverty mentality, but we also don't want to just live like we were before. You have to look for ways to cut costs, and I think that goes in with your business too, wouldn't you say?
It for sure does, because like even just small things, like we provide breakfast every week for our team. During good times, I kind of go all out sometimes for them. Like we might have a lot of bacon, or I might get it catered from somewhere. But right now, like, we need to slim down a little bit. Like, I'm not saying cut the breakfast, but we're doing things that are less expensive. So there's definitely ways to look for not spending as much and just running a little lean and mean, like you say.
Yeah, when I say that, I don't mean to like sacrifice quality, because if you do that, if you run a restaurant and you start sacrificing the quality of your meals and things like that, you're going to lose people long term, and you may not be able to reopen. So you don't want to do it at the cost of quality, but you know there's some things that maybe you've been wasteful at in your business that you can cut down. Like I was like if you notice now, we do our grocery shopping online, so a lot of the stuff the stores are saying they don't have in stock right now. So one of the things that's weird that we buy a caffeine-free Coke Zero. So Stephanie's like, why doesn't the store have caffeine-free Coke Zero? It's not like there's a run on this like there was on toilet paper. Everybody's not buying up caffeine-free Coke Zero. But I said, think about it. The things that they do have a run on is what they're shipping right now. They're not going to waste the time and money and that space, valuable space on the truck right now for something that not that many people buy. They're going to push out the stuff that people are buying. So it might be a way for you to run a little bit leaner. I know in our business, I'm not stocking the stuff that we rarely ever sell. When the guys tell me we're out of this, I'm like, well, we're not going to buy it right now. Nobody buys it that much. So why have our money tied up in inventory of stuff that we're not selling that much?
Yeah. And don't you think too, like, that this is now when you're doing those things, you're cutting costs, you're looking at ways to be more efficient and streamlined. I mean, those can have long-term benefits too, right?
You might decide there's some things you're wasting money on that you realize you don't need once you cut that cost. And there's some things I did before this hit, some refinancing to get, I don't know what it's like right now. It might be really hard to get a loan right now, but before this all happened, money was cheap. It was easy to get. So I refinanced a lot of our loans to way lower interest rates. So I have lower payments now, which is helping me get through a lot of this time because the bills are still coming in, whether you got work or not. I mean, the bills don't stop.
Right.
So by having less payments to make, it helps us when times are good and when times are bad. Because just like with your personal budget, when times are good, if you keep those bills low, just bank that extra money and you'll have that. So when times are a little rough, you've got something to fall back on.
Right. Yep. Totally agree.
Personal and business. It's a smart way to do it. But if your bills are maxed out every month, when times are good, then what are you going to do when something like this hits? You don't have any cushion there. And if you've already cushioned in a lot of extra in your budget every month and times do tighten up, then maybe you don't have to sacrifice. Maybe you're just not putting as much into savings, but you've got all those bills and everything taken care of still.
Yeah.
So,
you don't want to be at the mercy of basically the market. Like if business slows down and you've got that cushion, you don't want to feel that stress. Like even if you have to cut hours for your team and things like that, like to not have to have that stress of how we're going to pay bills is huge.
Right. Which probably at this point it's too late. You either have or you haven't. So this isn't the time to talk about planning what you should have done, but it could be the time to think about
it's good lessons.
It's going to happen again. Like, yes, maybe we were a little caught off guard by this, but honestly, a recession happens. It's documented. It's going to happen every so many years. Usually about once a decade from what I've read, you're going to have some type of pullback on the market. It's natural. So you have to kind of be aware that could happen any time. Yeah,
so use this time. Now you're going through one. Maybe it's the first time. Maybe your business isn't that old, so maybe it's the first time you're going through one of these recession type things. Use this as a lesson to prep for the next one so that it doesn't hit you so hard.
Because nobody knows when it's going to happen. If we did, it probably wouldn't happen. Like we could have, I'm going to plan. We could have planned ahead for it, but these things you can't really plan ahead for.
Right.
You can, but you can't plan for the exact date.
Right.
So number 2 was cut costs. Number 1, get the basics right. Number 3, look for opportunities. If you are still able to stay open, even if you're not, are there other ways you can be bringing in income? What are some opportunities in the market? I know for our business, rug clean is one. It's an important part of our business, but it's one part of our business. But we notice while the rest of it kind of has slowed down dramatically, not as many people want us in their house right now, but they're still willing to send out their rugs to get cleaned because we don't have to do that in their house. We have an off-site facility.
Right.
So if we focus on a lot of our marketing on that, educating people about that, then we can maximize the things that are bringing in money.
Mm-hmm. So I was just going to suggest, maybe like writing down all of your services and just kind of brainstorm, maybe even ask your team, are there some ideas. What do you guys think? Is there some other ways that we could serve our community right now? One of the creative things that I know you came up with was the contactless rug pickup or drop off, so people can put their rugs outside of their house. They don't ever even have to come in contact with us. So that's kind of working. So are there some ways that you can talk to your team and just brainstorm, and maybe not even very too far from what you're doing, but there might be other ways to serve the community right now?
And there's ideas like that. I didn't create that idea. It came from other industries. That's what the food industry is doing right now.
Yeah.
So can you borrow from other industries? Some people say, oh, that doesn't work for my business or whatever. Well, yeah, maybe not exactly to the letter, but are there things that you can borrow from other industries that they're marketing and use that in your business? Can you find a creative way to adapt that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. We won't talk about marketing in this video too much, but I've even stolen some marketing ideas from other industries, real estate, things like that. So just always be looking and kind of, how can I transform this to work for me and for what we do?
And another thing, sometimes by looking for opportunities, you might shift your business a little. I noticed a lot of the restaurants around here are actually selling the meat that they would normally be cooking, because maybe the market isn't as much for selling their food right now as a prepared restaurant, but
Right.
they can sell it as groceries and
It's very creative.
offer a solution to the marketplace that's needed and is bringing in money.
And that brings up another good point too. It's like, okay, so what are your profit margins normally? Maybe you have a high, you make a lot of profit normally, but right now, would you say, like, do you agree that it's okay to not make as much, but you're still bringing in something, like with that selling of their meat in the restaurant industry? Maybe they're not making as much as they normally would, but maybe they're making enough right now to get through this to cover their cost of doing business.
Oh, for sure. We're just hoping that it doesn't last that long and we can
Right.
survive until then. That's kind of where we're at the point. If we see it's going too long, then yeah, maybe we have to shift our whole business model. But for now, we're just hoping that it's short term, that we can get by, stretch our money until this is over.
Yeah, so maybe the way you change, maybe the opportunity you discover, the way you find that you can serve the community differently is not as making you as much profit or something right now, but at least it can get you through those tough times.
All right, so those are our top three. Get the basics right, cut your cost, look for opportunities in the marketplace. So those are the three we're going to share with you now. 2 bonus ones we're not going to go into the details of, but we will on future videos, because we talked about them. They're almost a whole video by themselves. So keep your team positive right now, your
Huge.
management positive. Don't get into the doom and gloom talks at work.
Yeah.
And number 5, don't stop marketing.
Yes.
Yeah, you might need to cut some costs, but you don't want to cut out all your marketing right now.
No.
So
not
those
at
are
all.
our 2 bonus ones we're going to go into the future. Again, that's it for this video, but don't forget to like, subscribe, whatever you're supposed to do to make these YouTube things successful. This episode was not brought to you by Royal Caribbean, even though we're both drinking out of our cruise drinks. We're visualizing where we were a couple months ago in the Caribbean.
Yeah. We were on a cruise right before all of this hit. Also, we both, by accident, have Disney shirts on.
Because we're subconsciously the things that we miss
I
the
think
most,
so.
cruise industry and Disney.
Yeah.
We hope you guys both make it out of this crisis, especially the cruise industry is getting hit really hard.
Yeah. We're going to be booking some stuff when this is over.
Yeah, we hope they make it out alive.
Yeah.
So good luck, you guys. Hope this helps you in your business. I hope you guys survive and thrive. And
Yeah. We want every business to get through it. We love business and we love seeing it work and learning about it. And every business has its place, and we just want y'all to be successful. That's why we're sharing these tips and things that have worked for us.
I don't think this video is going to be obsolete when this is over either. I think
No.
those tips are going to help you no matter what phase the economy's in, what phase your business.
Even in a good market, like, why not look for ways to cut costs or different opportunities to serve the community? Like, those are always going to be valuable things.
Common sense fundamentals.
Yeah.
All right, so thanks, guys.